Good morning. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Days after a 7-year-old was killed during a 4th of July gunfire exchange, Tampa activists are speaking up against gun violence by engaging their local neighborhoods. WMNF's Josh Holton reports from a community outreach event in Tampa over the weekend.
DJs played tunes and families brought their children to enjoy some free lunch hot off the grill while they heard stories from families of gun violence victims, urging them to become more educated and speak out. Johnny Johnson is the vice president of Rise Up for Peace Community Against Gun Violence and was wearing the face of his son, Jaquan Johnson, on his shirt, who had lost his life to gun violence at the age of 17.
He was a Brandon High School student where the mom had the guns and what have you. Today would have been his 24th birthday. Just in keeping his memory alive and making sure and hopefully no other family or parent had to deal with what me and my family have been through.
Johnson pointed out that gun violence is the leading cause of death for children in the United States.
So as adults in society, we're failing our youth at a high rate. It's up to the adults in the community, the ones with their head on their shoulder, to make those choices. Not everything we face we can change, but we can't change nothing until we face it. And gun violence is a human rights issue with Rise Up for Peace because our safety and security have been impeded on in every function of our life, whether it's going to the grocery store or place your worship, or either this weekend a 7-year-old at the local beach for a holiday.
Life-size cardboard cutouts of gun violence victims from around the state stood in each corner of the picnic pavilion at Reagan Park last Saturday. Derek Graham is a volunteer with Rise Up for Peace and has lost several close friends to gun violence. And with a new law allowing Floridians to carry a gun without a permit, he said voting in upcoming elections is critical to realizing change.
Your child is not exempt from this. He can be standing next to somebody, a childhood friend that's in that life, and he's not, and he can be targeted. So we need to argue more at the Florida legislature about what's going on with permitless carry, about the amount of guns being produced and made and sold. This is just not a East Tampa problem. It's not just a state problem. It's a United States problem, and we all need to get out, and we all need to vote, and we all need to say something.
Graham said police claim that many children are finding guns in unlocked cars, and so securing firearms and vehicles is important now more than ever. For WMNF News, I'm Josh Holton in Tampa.
St. Petersburg has allocated $8.6 million to a new mental health initiative. WMNF's Chris Young reports the city's mayor made this announcement on Friday at the Healing While Black Summit at Eckerd College.
Mayor Ken Welch was one of many speakers at the opening of the summit, focusing on the mental health of minorities.
It's important to recognize the problem, to remove the stigma of mental health in our community, and to tell the stories of the families who do not have access to life-changing mental health services.
He finished off his speech by announcing the grant.
We are allocating $8.6 million for funding.
The grant is for the creation of what Welch calls community support hubs that will address mental health challenges in the St. Pete community. Dr. LaDonna Butler is the founder of The Well and spoke at the summit. The Well was selected as the lead organization to design and implement the community hubs.
We are worthy of investment. We are worthy of investment. And you just heard a response to worthiness. Yes.
The funds are coming from Biden's American Rescue Plan Act. Welch says more details are to come. For WMNF News, I'm Chris Young in St. Petersburg.
Late on Friday, the chancellor of Florida's university system put a stop to the search for a new president at Florida Atlantic University. The surprising news came days after FAU named 3 finalists, but that list did not include State Representative Randy Fine, who is an ally of Governor Ron DeSantis. The university system's chancellor is another supporter of DeSantis, Ray Rodriguez. That led opponents to slam the move and accuse DeSantis and his allies of one more example of politicizing the state's universities and colleges. On Friday, the Florida Supreme Court said it will hear arguments on September 8th in a case that could play a major role in the future of abortion rights in the state. The court issued an order scheduling a hearing in a challenge to a 2022 law that prevented abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The outcome of this case will also affect a law passed this year that will bar abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy and could determine whether the privacy clause in the Florida Constitution will protect abortion rights. Attorney General Ashley Moody's office is asking the Supreme Court to back away from more than 3 decades of legal precedents that have said the privacy clause does apply to abortion rights. Today it'll be partly cloudy, breezy and hot, scattered afternoon thunderstorms, highs in the low 90s today. Tonight, partly cloudy with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Overnight lows will be in the mid-60s. And then tomorrow, thunderstorms are likely in the morning. Highs tomorrow will be in the high 80s.